everybody, and welcome to World Book Day. This is my favourite day of the year. Now, obviously, we can't do what we normally do in school when we go over to the sports hall and have that amazing big assembly, and you all come dressed up and do lots of World Book Day activities in class. It's going to be different this year, but it's going to be just as good, I'm sure. You're going to have. I know lots of your teachers have got some really fun activities for you to do today, and if you do anything today, make sure you spend lots of time reading a book, reading lots of books, reading books that you enjoy, reading books to your mums and dads, reading books to your sisters and brothers, and finding different ways of enjoying the stories that you love. That is what we always want you to do on World Book Day. What we also have this year, as always, is we have the vouchers to give you where you can go to a bookshop. I think Chiltern Bookshop do these books, but also you can get them online. You will be given today by Miss Seckham. She sent you the link to get your voucher where you can buy one of these books for £1. And those books are absolutely brilliant. They're written by really well-established authors like Catherine Runton. I know year 6 you've been reading The Explorer, and we've got a Planet Omar book in there, and I've actually just finished this one, which is, I think it's part of Chiltern Children's Book Festival. These are great books. They're really funny, and if you like any kind of Tom Gates or Sam Wu, those sorts of books, have got brilliant kind of Dare of the Wind Kid style drawings in there. But you can get a Planet Omar book with your voucher, and you can also have a look in your local library for this, because this is where I got that from. So when the libraries are back open, you'll be able to get hold of some of these books too. So today, I'd like you to think really carefully about the books that you're going to choose and share, but also the ones that you might look at getting with your voucher as well. And let us know how you get on with that. We'd be really interested to know. I want to share with you today the books that I'm loving at the moment. Now, one of them is a book that I've been reading since I was about 7, and my mum read to me the first time. One of them is a book that I've read in recent years and is perfect for World Book Day. And the other one is a book that I've only recently got to know and absolutely love. So The Fib is a short stories. It's a set of short stories that is all about a boy who gets himself into quite a bit of trouble. One of the stories is all about Bobby Charlton and football, and some of the other stories are just about things like him going to a really funny Christmas party or to having a disaster on a fireworks night. And they're probably right to read on your own from kind of year 6 down to about year 3. And then, as I say, my mum read them to me when I was about 6 or 7. So I'm sure some of the younger children would like to have them read to them. And they're short stories that I absolutely love. The second one I wanted to tell you about that I really enjoyed in the last year or two, and I know Mr. Jones loves this book as well. It's Oliver Jeffers, and it's called The Incredible Book-Eating Boy. And it's all about a boy who eats books, not reads them. And you'll find out actually what happens to him, whether that's successful or not, if you read this book. And the last one is called The Street Beneath My Feet. And this is a book that I've been shown in the last year. And it actually is a book that opens out into a big concertina, and it shows you every single level of the earth beneath your feet. And we've got a copy of that book in pretty much every classroom now, because it's really good for showing you the geography of the world. But also it's really, really good read. If you like non-fiction books, it really is one for you. And even if you don't, it's so fascinating, and the illustrations are so beautiful that I think you'd enjoy it anyway. So there's some recommendations for me. And the other one that I will always recommend, and it's a bit of a St. John's book now, because we've been doing a couple of projects on it over the last couple of years, is this book. It's the Lost Spells book, and we actually have already done a project on the Lost Words book, and I know lots of you will have seen that display not only in our hall but in Chiltern Bookshop as well. And some of you are involved in the art project around that, and that's one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. And I know it's one of Mrs. Law's favourites as well. It's got these gorgeous pictures inside, and it also has some lovely writing all about the sort of lost words and lost elements of nature that you might be really interested in. So get yourself a copy of that if you'd be interested in that. And we've got a few copies in the library. And to go along with it is a new one called The Lost Spells. And that's another beautiful book that has, a bit like we used our magic wands, it's got a some lovely poetry in there and some really, really beautiful illustrations. So there's a few books. If you're struggling for something to read, there's a few recommendations for you. But what I wanted you to do on this World Book Day, because we're going to, lots of us are at home, I want you to make me and your class teachers a book of your own, and you can write your own story in it, or you can do a non-fiction story about your week, or a diary, or you could write a really, really great funny story, an adventurous story, a mystery story, whatever you like inside it. And I'm going to show you today how to make your own book with a cover. So I'm just going to tip this down so you can see my desk. So what you need is you need 2 pieces of paper. Now, you can either have 2 pieces of white paper or a piece of white paper for the inside and a coloured piece of paper for the outside. And that's what I'm going to do today. So what we're going to do is get a piece of A4 paper, just a simple piece of A4 plain paper, and you're going to fold it what we call a hot dog fold. It looks like a hot dog. And we are going to do a nice, neat line, corner to corner like this, and then we're going to do what we call a burger fold over the top so that you have got a slightly shorter strip of paper, so it's like an oblong, and then you are actually going to make another fold, and you can probably see what it's going to end up as now. And these are your pages. That's going to be the size of your page. But what we need to do is we need to make sure all the creases are nice and sort of neat. And then you're going to open that piece of paper back up. And what you will have is your 8 pages here. Can you see? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. Okay. What you now need to do is you need to get a pair of scissors, and you're going to make a cut down the centre, but not the last page. Okay, so obviously if you're in Key Stage 2, you'll be all right with some of the scissors at home, I'm sure. If you're younger, make sure you get your mums and dads to help you, and you can cut all the way down to there. So actually, I always say it looks like you've got a pair of legs now. There we go. Look, can you see? And what we're then going to do is we're going to fold it over so that it's back in a strip, and then you're going to concertina it to make the pages. So we're going to go one way and just push down, back the other way and push down, and then this one you'll have to fold sort of the other way of the fold back like that to make pages. But because you've already made the folds once, it's actually quite easy to do. I would do it on the desk. I'm just doing it in the air to show you, and then you're going to do the same with this one. Fold it back that way, fold it back that way, so you're going one way and then the other, and then fold it that way. So you've got the same looking piece of paper, but this time you've actually got what looks a bit like a concertina inside. So put that to the side, and then we're going to work on the cover. I'm going to do it in a different colour so you can see, but I know lots of people like to do it in white so that you can actually draw on the front of it slightly differently, but I'll do it in a different colour so you can see the difference. So what we're going to do is same size, A4, and you're going to fold it over and another hot dog fold and create this, the same as you did before. Then you are going to fold this side to the other edge, but you are going to leave about 2 finger spaces like that, and that is going to be your spine eventually. So I'll just show you where I've folded it over to. Put a line on it for you so you can see. So I've folded it over to there. Can you see? So there's a little bit of a gap at the end. And then you're going to take the same piece of paper, open it up, and you're going to do exactly the same to the other side. And give yourself probably actually just maybe a finger, or depending on how wide your fingers are, 1 or 2 fingers, depending on how wide you want your spine to be. And you're going to end up with a piece of paper that's folded like this. And see, because you've done the folds each way, okay? So you can see that there. What you're now going to do is open it out, and you're going to fold each side into your centre line. Like this, that's one, and this is the other side. And you should end up with something that looks a bit like that. So you're folding into those 2 creases there, And then when you close it over, oh, look at that, you've got the side of a book. Okay, so you can write your, I'm going to put Mrs. O'Donoghue on the side there. Mrs. O'Donoghue on my spine, so you can see. There we go. And when you get your insert back, open up your piece of paper. So that's the one, that's the other. So you've got two pieces of paper that are loose on the bottom, and you're just going to tuck those in to your booklet. There's one, and there's the other. And you've got yourself a beautiful little book with a cover. And that is how you do it. So what would be great, you can add in pages if you want to. If you get two pieces of paper in there, you can add in some more pages. But what would be great is if you can start to write me either a story, or you can write something in there, or do some pictures, and you can make your own little book and put your title on the side, so that when it goes in your library, and you can see on the picture, on the PowerPoint, you can actually make a little book library like that there, and make a box to go around it. And we can show you how to do that when you come back into school next week. So that's what I'd like you to have a go at tomorrow as part of your World Book Day activities. When we come back in, I know you're all really disappointed about not dressing up. I know I am, and I know there's a few teachers that are as well. And what we decided to do was not dress up tomorrow, because we're not all together, and the children that are in school are doing something different. And obviously the children at home, you may dress up on your Zoom, or some of you might not want to. And I know there's not many shops open to come buy costumes, and lots of people are very busy at the moment, so it's just not the time for doing a dressing up day. We are going to do a dressing up day, but not until after Easter, and we're going to do it on something slightly different this year. So if when you come back, we'll tell you all the details about that. But tomorrow, I want you to have a wonderful day, all thinking about the books that you love, and thinking about making stories, and about joining with your friends and family and class online, thinking about stories and exciting things. We've got a really exciting thing to share with you, though. Lots of the staff have put on costumes, put on masks, and I've read a story for you in a funny voice. And you've got to try and work out who is behind the mask. It's one of my favourite programmes. So if you would like to do that and try and work out which teacher is behind the mask, you need to just go onto our YouTube channel and look very carefully and listen very carefully to the way in which they read the stories, and try and guess. If you think you can guess, send us a message either through Twitter or on info@, and let us know who you think they are. Can I just say, there's lots of you that sent me the gratitude piece of work from the last assembly. They are absolutely beautiful. I've got a few of them here on my desk that I have been looking at. And I was just going to say that those people have sent these to me. It's not too late. If you haven't sent yours yet, send it in. If you want to bring it with you on Monday when you come back, that's great. I've got some special certificates for you, and I'll be coming around classes next week to celebrate those pieces of work with the children that sent me those stories and pieces of writing about what they're grateful for. So thank you for those. They really did cheer me up. Right, before we finish and you go off and do some wonderful things with your class and your classmates, let's put our hands together and just thank God for all of those books that we have access to, all of those stories that we've been told, all of the times that we sit in our classroom and have a cosy read, all of the times our teachers sit with us and read a really great new book in guided reading, all of the times. Thank you, God, for all of those times with our families when we get evening stories, morning stories, all of those wonderful experiences we have with books. And let's not forget that we use the Bible lots in school, and I'm sure you do at home and when you go to Mass as well, and thinking about the power of a book to transport us to different places and also teach us something. And when we read the Bible, we hear all about Jesus and all about the stories that teach us something, all of the parables and all of those stories that teach us how to be good Christians and also good human beings to each other. Let's thank God for all the books in our life, and particularly the ones that teach us how to live and how to follow in the footsteps of Jesus. Dear God, we thank you for the power of a good book to transport us to new places and to give us new experiences. We thank you for the creativity of authors and illustrators in